I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 12th, 2015. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu returned to Israel today after his visit to Washington, which included meeting with U.S. President Barack Obama on Monday and yesterday meeting with U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. The U.S. State Department said in a statement that Kerry and Netanyahu had a, quote, constructive meeting in which they discussed concrete ideas for stopping the violence, improving conditions on the ground in the West Bank and Gaza, and moving the diplomatic process forward. Kerry later yesterday addressed an Israeli gathering at the United Nations, commemorating the 1975 speech given by then Israeli Ambassador Chaim Herzog, in which he denounced the world body for adopting the infamous Zionism is racism resolution. Kerry told the gathering that the Zionist dream embraces the concept of Israel as a Jewish democracy, a beacon of light to all nations. He said that dream can only be upheld by two states living side by side in security. Kerry said the dream was not an impossible one, but an achievable one. Also speaking at the event was UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, who said we must do all we can to bring a just resolution to the Middle East conflict, to protect the viability of the two-state solution, and enable Israelis and Palestinians alike to live in security and peace. Other noted attendees and speakers included U.S. Ambassador to the UN Samantha Power, new Israeli Ambassador to the UN Dani Danon, Herzog's sons Michael and Isaac, who is now the leader of the opposition party in Israel, and Executive Director of the American Jewish Committee David Harris. The AJC was one of the sponsors of the 40th anniversary event, together with the Permanent Mission of Israel to the UN and the Chaim Herzog Public Council. A Palestinian man tried to stab IDF soldiers today at the Rachel crossing between Bethlehem and Jerusalem. The attacker reportedly afterwards threw the knife at the soldiers and fled. Israeli forces were searching the area for him. And a wanted terrorist was arrested in a hospital in Hebron by a joint operation of Israel's security agency, the Shin Bet, the counter-terrorism unit of Israeli border police, and the IDF. 20-year-old Azam Shalalde had stabbed and moderately wounded an Israeli man in Gush Etzion last month and was himself injured but had escaped. Israeli forces arrested Shalalde from his hospital bed and took him for questioning. During the raid, Shalalde's 28-year-old cousin Abdallah Shalalde attacked the Israeli forces and was shot dead. The Shin Bet issued a statement later saying it will not permit terror operatives to hide in any places of refuge. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin has canceled his planned visit to the European Union's headquarters in Brussels. Rivlin was set to address the EU Parliament and meet with EU officials during the visit next month. Ynet reports that while Rivlin's office would not comment on the reasons behind the cancellation, it is assumed to be over the EU's decision yesterday to label Israeli products made over the Green Line, the pre-1967 borders. Prime Minister Netanyahu had called that EU decision hypocritical, saying they should be ashamed. And Jewish organizations here in the U.S. continue to criticize the EU move as well. The National Council of Young Israel said the EU decision was, quote, prejudicial and a further perpetuation of the anti-Israel animus that is sadly becoming all too prevalent on the world stage. CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, said this unhelpful policy to apply diplomatic pressure only on Israel only serves to reinforce Palestinian unwillingness to rejoin direct negotiations with Israel. B'nai B'rith International said the European Union would better spend its time encouraging Palestinians to get to the negotiating table, as these guidelines only prolong the process rather than resolve it. The World Jewish Congress honored former U.S. Secretary of State George P. Shultz with their prestigious Theodore Herzl Award. WJC President Ronald Lauder and former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, who is himself a past Herzl Award recipient, presented the award to Shultz at New York's Waldorf Astoria this week. It recognizes outstanding individuals who work to promote Herzl's ideals for a safer, more tolerant world for the Jewish people. Lauder recognized both Shultz and Kissinger at the gala event, saying, "Here are two secretaries of state, two men who brought freedom to millions and who left the world safer under their watch. Two men who made a difference and still do. Referring there to how, as U.S. Secretary of State, Schultz helped Soviet Jews immigrate to Israel. The WJC has also announced that next year's award will be presented to German Chancellor Angela Merkel. And taking a look now at our programming on JBS tonight, Thursday, November the 12th. At 8 o'clock, Dr. Hillel Ben-Sasson of the Hebrew University explores the achievements and legacy left by Yitzhak Rabin and where things stand today. At 9 o'clock, veteran diplomat and former Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Ahrens is featured on L'chaim. And at 10, the ADL survey on global anti-Semitism is discussed. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 12th, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader.